Hi, I'm Jonas, and you are watching Sublime Media, and thank you so much for tuning in. Today, I actually, it's like this. I did a video. I had some records that I showed. I called the video a little bit of a clickbait, really. The essential records for anyone's collection, something like that. And I got so much views. But I also got a lot of love because people were really vibing with that video and the stuff that I showed. And a lot of the stuff that I showed was like classic records, but not super essential, really. So what I actually did now was go through my collection, grabbing 10 records that, in my opinion, these are essential. Like, you should really get these if you are into record collecting. And obviously, who am I to tell anyone what to buy or what to listen to? It's all big fun, you know. But in my opinion, with the taste that I have and all the years that I've been collecting, these are to me essential records that I recommend that anyone to check out and or to get to add to their collection. So yeah, without further ado, please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and also do the thumbsy up because this shoots out to even more people, and I think that I bring some vibes to this community and to the YouTube world. So if you do that, it shoots out to even more people, and even more people need good music nowadays, don't they? Also, comment. Do you agree or do you not agree with my picks? One thing that was hard was not to pull out too obvious records, but then again I couldn't pull out like super obscure records because they are not essential, like not all of them at least. So it was hard to do this list, but I think I have 10 records that are pretty good. So please comment. So let's just start off. I'm gonna start off really easy. Like, this is, anyone knows this, everyone has this. This is no surprise, really. And I think it's a good way to start this video. This is the band self-titled record, in the 60s, something like that, on Capitol Records. This is essential to me, in anyone's collection. If you're into 60s, 70s rock music, this is one to own. And I think that this is more essential than the first record that they Music from Big Pink. I think that this is better. I know this by heart. I've listened to this so many times, and it's almost like addictive. The playing, the tunes, everything is just perfect. A 10 out of 10 record any day of the week, and the band's best work. But not only the band, like, this is a staple in time of the music that was made back in the day. This is one of those records that are just the best. So, essential. Okay, so I could pull Pet Sounds. Everyone knows that record, and I love it. It's not the best 60s record. Definitely not, in my opinion. But I didn't want to do that. I want to be in that sort of universe. So I pulled this one. And I think that many of you knows this. If you don't, I mean, there were a time and a place where I had no idea about the existence of this record. And nowadays, I recommend this to everyone getting into music, like trying to explore, going a little bit outside of the comfort zones of your typical, like, list records. Dennis Wilson, the drummer of Beach Boys, his first solo record, Pacific Ocean Blue, is a masterpiece. A masterpiece. So if you're into Beach Boys and you want to explore a little bit further, this is definitely the way to go. And in my opinion, I listen to this more often than Pet Sounds, because this is, and it's like comparing apples and pears. It's completely different records. I mean, Dennis Wilson is not Brian Wilson, and Brian Wilson is definitely not Dennis Wilson. If you listen to this, read also about his life. It's tragic, and it brings something to the experience of listening to it. But it's essential, in my opinion. Okay, so moving on. This is also essential. It's a little bit more expensive. I think by far the most expensive record I'm going to show you, just because they have totally rejected this, and they refuse to reissue it for some stupid, I don't know why, but there are unofficial reissues that you can get. It's streaming. I think you can get it on CD also, or just sell that to buy this. I'm talking about Buckingham Nicks. This is the self-titled record, the only one that they recorded, and this is just before they joined Fleetwood Mac, and the rest is history. So they are not old here, but this is a 10 out of 10 record in my opinion. The music is fantastic, musicianship, her voice is as good as it ever was, and I also think that a part of what makes this so brilliant is the recording quality of it. It sounds so good. This is an original US first press, and it sounds like a demo copy of something. I could demo this if I wanted to like flex my system, you know. But a little bit expensive because they never really put out any reissues. We're still waiting for a good reissue of that. Okay, the next one. I think that a lot of you will be surprised about me showing this. I don't think I've showed this artist or this band since at least 10 years in the vinyl community here on YouTube. But this is essential, and I actually play this more than London Calling. I'm talking about Give 'Em Enough Rope with the Clash 1978. It's not that it's a better record than London Calling. I think that London Calling is the best one. Maybe there are some tunes, because it's a 2 LP set, so maybe 1 or 2 tunes that I would sort of take away from that, but it's still it's one of the best records ever. Don't get me wrong. But this one, essential in my opinion. Raw. It's people have talked about this as one of the lesser good Clash records, and I totally disagree. Like, I think that this is such a damn good record. Not expensive, easy to get, and in my opinion, building a collection, like searching for something, you know, the next thing to get. The Give 'Em Enough Rope is a perfect example of an essential record. Okay, so moving on. This is also one that I got early when I started to build my collection. It's like you start reading up on it, the artists, you go down the rabbit hole, and it just like opens so many doors. Imagine also seeing them live with this sort of lineup. That would be so cool. And essential in my opinion, this is the only one that is essential in their catalog. I actually had a time and a place in my collecting career where I tried to get all the Delaney and Bonnie records, but like all of them are not good. They are good songwriters, performances. They always work with great musicians, but a little bit forgettable. This is not. This is essential. This is a 10 out of 10. So you have Delaney Bonnie and Friends on tour with Eric Clapton. But that's not all, because you have a hell of a lineup. You have George Harrison on this also, Dave Mason, Carl Rattle, Jim Gordon, Jim Price, Rita Coolidge, Tex Johnson. It's like Bobby Whitlock. It's the who's who of this scene at this time period. Great one. Fantastic artwork. It's said that this is the shoes of George Harrison, but I think that's also been talked about as wrong. Anyway, cheap, awesome, get it. This has been reissued. I have a reissue. This sucks. Like, it sounds so bad. It's worse in every possible way. You could as easily just get a CD or stream it. Don't get this version. I'm so looking for an original first press, and I've been doing that for a decade now, and I haven't really found it. It's not that it's super rare. It's just like it's a little bit expensive. I don't want to pay too much for it, and the opportunity haven't really come up. And I have this reissue, even if it sounds like a bad CD. But it's essentially my opinion. So you have your your Led Zeppelins, and you have your Stones and Beatles and stuff like that. So where are you going next? I think that Roy Harper is a perfect example where you will find an artist. Hopefully, you will find an artist that will stay with you for the rest of your life. And it's like one of those artists. I feel like not everyone has discovered him. So you will be a little bit alone, maybe, with your fascination of Roy Harper. And Stormcock, 1971, his best, in my opinion. Every single LP by Roy Harper is good or great. This is a masterpiece, 10 out of 10. But it deserves to be a masterpiece in sound too. And this reissue, fairly new reissue. Sucks. Yeah, but the music is great. And Jimmy Page is playing on this one also under a pseudonym. Great one. 2 songs on the first side, 2 songs on the second side. Long ass songs. You take you travel with him. He's a storyteller. It's amazing. And to me, it's an essential record, right? Everyone should have a copy of Harper Stormcock in their collection if you like this sort of music that I talk about in show. Yeah, so you you did that. You venture into a little bit heavier territories. Like you don't want to venture into metal stuff like that, but maybe like a little bit proto metal. You're into like Deep Purple, Black Sabbath. You started to listen to that. You need that sort of heaviness of the music. Well, Grand Funk. If you don't know this, pause everything that you are doing right now, including watching this, and just go and listen to Grand Funk right away. I think that the funk in Grand Funk is a little bit misleading in the Madden name. This is a blend between Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, and Led Zeppelin, all in one. And a lot of times nowadays, when something gets reissued and gets put out, and it's a little bit more obscure, more often than any, it says like, oh, you can file this next to Grand Funk, or you can file this next to Led Zeppelin or Black Sabbath. This is like, they talk about this as sort of the basis of a certain genre of a little bit more heavy early 70s music. And it's so good, like essential. Yeah, okay, so I'll take the plastic sleeve away from that, because, and this is in really bad shape, but it deserves to be seen. Yeah, there's the 60s sort of flower power scene. Where to begin, really? You could get sort of Jefferson Airplane and stuff like that. This, in my opinion, very cheap, extremely good, awesome artwork, essential in any collection. And I'm talking about It's a Beautiful Day. They released some records. This is the first one. And look at that artwork. I mean, it is a piece of art, isn't it? You could have this up on your wall. It's beautiful. And there's the white bird there from one of the songs. It's hard to pinpoint. Psychedelic pop, maybe. Extremely easy to love and get into. I think it has the sound of San Francisco. It's hard to like point at what I'm talking about. You have to really listen to it to understand, and just put the needle on the first track, Whitebird, and you're done. Like, you know exactly what I'm talking about with the sound of this record. 2 more to go. This is also essential, definitely essential, like really essential. But I think I'm the wrong person to really talk about it, because I'm not an expert in this. But when I saw this, I just had to pull it, show it, because it's such an essential record. I'm talking about MC5, Kick Out the Jams. Is this 1960, 69? Yeah. This is a crappy and a little bit water damaged reissue. I wish I had a first one where they swear and it's not censored. You can do the research. But yeah, in my opinion, essential. If you go down the rabbit hole after listening to this, if you like this, you are going to end up in garage, in psych, but also in punk. I think that, you know, you can go towards 30th Floor Elevators or the Stooges, you know, that sort of raw ass power. Just, yeah, listen to Kick Out the Jams and you know what I mean. So essential. But this is on all those lists and stuff like that. But I felt like I'm going to pull it. It's essential, and I think that yeah, it has a place, definitely a place in anyone's collection. Okay, last but not least. This is like, okay, so you listen to King Crimson, In the Court of the Crimson King. You love it. 1969. It's an amazing record, a staple, you know. But where to go next? You can venture into other stuff in their catalog, or go to Fripp or whatever, you know. But I would just like go to next door of that record and stop with McDonald and Giles. Because In the Court of the Crimson King is a 10 out of 10 record, but this is also a 10 out of 10 record. They only, they was I think they only were on the first one, maybe on the second one also. Don't quote me on this. And in my opinion, they are a big chunk of the sound that made that record so iconic and so good. In my opinion, they had to be a big part of that sound, because this sounds exactly the same. The folkier bits of In the Court of the Crimson King is this all the way through. It's as good playing, great music. I mean, good songs. A little bit more whimsical maybe than progressive, if you compare it to King Crimson. This is a 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10. This is one of my favorite records of all time. I think I would bring this to a desert island together with King Crimson in the Court of the Crimson King. But those two, they belong together. And also on Island Records, I had the good fortune of getting this pretty early. Yeah, nice one. Essential in anyone's collection, in my opinion. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed what I showed you and what I talked about. Please comment if you don't agree, or comment if you agree. And I hope we can take this not too seriously. You know, I'm definitely the last one that is going to tell anyone what to listen to or what is essential, really. But I mean, yeah, we're having a bit of fun here. So talk to you soon, and thank you so much for watching.